I'm Malcolm Hawker, the head of data strategy with Profisee Software. I recently published an article in Forbes magazine titled The Problems of Data Literacy. And I see data literacy as problematic really for three different reasons. One is the opposite of literacy is illiteracy. It's not a great way to start a conversation with your stakeholders by basically saying, hey, we need to talk about your illiteracy. Nobody wants to assume that somebody else is illiterate. Nobody else wants to start a conversation that way. So I've got a problem with the word itself. I think it's incendiary. I think it's problematic, and I think it's a really bad way to start a conversation with somebody. The second problem that I've got here is that largely at a high level, the underlying premise of data literacy programs is that users fail to get value from data because there's a gap in skills. There's a gap between the skills they have related to data and the skills they need related to data. So the underlying premise here is one such that if you're not benefiting, if you're not getting value, if it's not helping solve a problem, well, then it's your fault. The problem here is that we don't actually even talk about the usability of the product. We don't talk about the quality of the data. We don't talk about the infrastructure used to deliver that. We don't talk about the product. And we need to be talking about the product of data. There isn't a product manager among us who would say, you're not using my product because you fail on a basic test of skills of how to use it. If somebody is not implementing a product or getting value from a product or adopting the product, or worse yet, they turn around and say, well, I don't want your product, I'm going to go get it from somebody else. Chances are that is a product failure. It's not a gap in users' skills. There may be a gap of skills there. But assuming the primary reason why you're not getting value from data or analytics is because of you is not a great way to establish a solid working relationship with your customers, with your stakeholders. So a third thing here that's problematic is that when we assume that data literacy is a problem, we stop innovating. We stop looking forward. We stop trying to understand what needs are. We stop trying to understand or be sympathetic to what the customers need. We stop thinking about how to improve our products, and we think about how we're failing to, how the users need to be trained. Now, don't get me wrong. All users need to know what the right tool is for the right job. I'm not saying we don't need to train our users. We most certainly do. Go to market, training, support, end user support, FAQs, even a 1-800 number to call with questions. All these things are important. If we took more of a product-centric view to how we deliver value instead of a data-centric view, a product or customer-centric view, then we would be more inclined to start to look at how do we implement some of these other solutions, these other ways of supporting our customers. How do we take more of a product management-centric view at implementing things like user support and FAQs and user-centric design that we incorporate from the beginning to make sure that the product is usable, the product is adopted, the product is liked. When we just kind of blame the users and we look at their skills, and we only look at their skills, we fail to look at all the other things that we could be doing from an innovation and product improvement and implementing more product management disciplines into data management. So those things combined make the idea of data literacy problematic. And I would invite data and analytics users to kind of turn things around and instead maybe look inwards as to why customers fail to get value from your products instead of looking at them.